Someone in Missoula called me and was like, Jason just got raided. And I was like, fuck.
Big Juicy, was Big Juicy telling you to get on too? Dude, I fucking fiddly fucked around for at least 2-3 months. I was like, Russell, there's no way I'm selling weed in this town. Are you kidding me? Black guy, weed, rims. Yeah, it's gonna work.
Oh, it worked all right.
Sure did, buddy. You got a nice felony to prove it.
Only one?
Well, there might be 2 strikes on there.
You don't have 3 felonies from that?
No, just 2.
Oh.
No, it's just 1 felony, but
I thought it was a felony for
each
intent to manufacture Schedule 1.
No, I think it's
intent to distribute a Schedule 1.
It's 1,
and then like a firearm with a Schedule 1 or something.
Beat the firearm at trial.
Oh, you did?
Is it just 1 felony per indictment, or is it a felony per charge?
Per charge.
Oh, so there's 2.
Okay.
Yeah, we got rid of 1 of them. Thanks, jury. That was a 7-year, man, though. Guarantee you would have went down for that one, but that's behind the gate.
Yo, what's up? I'm here with my boy Brock. We just finished up, what's this thing called?
World Class Dropouts. We gotta get you on. After I just asked, what's the name of the podcast?
Dude, literally 30 seconds. I don't smoke weed.
Joe, always working. No, we never know what Joe's up to, but he's always working.
Grinding and turning, baby.
He's the
churn and burn.
What's in Matt Morgan's fridge?
It's pretty empty right now. My guy that cooks everything is kind of
chocolate milk, waters, protein.
Joe, are these all plant?
Yep.
All right. Here, drink this one and tell me what you think. I've drank a few of those on my travels the last couple of days.
How'd you like them?
You tell me. Maybe I got 2 bad apples.
These are what Colt specifically these kind. So we'll see how this goes. Like I'm fucking eating chalk.
Doesn't it taste rotten almost?
Yeah.
I think it is fucking rotten.
Oh man.
Went up to a dispensary, Bloom actually, and we pull into this spot, and I just see this girl just going, fuck you, fuck you. I'm like, what's going on here? And I realize it's first time I've seen her since me and Matt became boys, since he was supposed to rough me up. Kind of, like I said, biggest backfire she could have done.
So Meg is like, yo, my friend and her boyfriend are there, so come with me, and then, you know, just kind of fuck with him a little bit, and, you know, just like get a rise out of him or poke him or whatever she wanted me to do. So I'm like, fine, you know, I don't mind ruffling feathers here and there. So I went and I sat down on the couch next to him right when I got in there. I think you were like, you want to smoke a joint or a blunt? And I'm like, yeah, I'll smoke a blunt. And so like, instead of like coming off as like a shithead like I was planning on, we just started chopping it up and smoking. I'm like, damn, this kid's like hella cool. And then we kept talking, and I'm like, this kid's, you know, like, he's dope. He's like a younger version of me. And so we got to chopping it up, and then we just transitioned into a friendship. And there was never any negativity or anything that ever arose from us meeting. It started off in a positive manner, and it continued in a positive manner from then on. And I actually ended up, how long was it that we'd known each other?
I'd say about a month until I moved in.
A month, and he just moved into my condo after we'd met on the couch that day smoking a blunt.
When I first met Matt, one of our other buddies, Shane, Matt had introduced me to, and he lived, right across the way in the next building over. And, you know, not to get like sentimental or anything, but for the first time in my life, I felt like, okay, you know, it's okay to like focus on just work and money and success and going to the next level and focus on something outside of the norm where you go get a 9-to-5, you get the college degree. And seeing Matt and Shane and getting to know them, it just made me realize like the rest was just noise, and I was actually on the right track the whole time. And yeah, that was when I was about 6 months to a year into my juice business, the first legal actual business, not back to the selling pogs and frogs and turtles back in elementary school, the garage sales, all that. This is the actual first business. And they just started basically talking about, you know, taking me under their wing, and I looked for that my whole life. So, you know, it was like a blessing in disguise. So, you know, shout out to Megan for that. she plugged us pretty well.
He more pushes me on the health side.
Yeah.
He keeps me like healthy and going to the gym more than I normally would. He makes me the second guess my decisions in the kitchen of what I'm eating. And so he makes me level up on more of a health side, and maybe I do that to him more so on a business side. But I'm guilty of letting my fitness, my physical health fall behind business sometimes, and so I think Colt helps balance that out.
Everything coexists together to actually be efficient and thrive. You have to be healthy. We talked about this literally yesterday.
Yin and the yang.
Yeah, when you're on point with everything, with your physical fitness, your mental clarity, and your diet, it all coexists with your success and how efficient you are and how well your days go. So, you know, there is a direct correlation between health and success.
You're in you get into a form of homeostasis where you have complete balance in your life and body and mind.
That's our goal, you know, trying to thrive in both physically, mentally, and obviously in business.
My goal for 2019 is to lose my virginity as well. So, okay, when did you get rated?
November 2011.
Oh yeah, I moved to Arizona in like January of 11.
You were gone. The only thing you still had in Montana was the big grow house out in Deer Lodge.
I walked away from that too.
That's the only thing that was still existing, though.
Lonnie, I handed over the reins to Lonnie when I left.
Yeah, Lonnie was running it. So I remember I went out there one time. I needed some work. And then I took all he had, Chocolope.
Dude, Lonnie was just going hard out there in Deer Lodge.
Yeah, old Deer Lodge. That's where they're growing them big old fucking
big
redwood,
eats.
big old redwood
Those
trees.
big old donkey colas, guy.
Yeah, donkeys, those big donks.
Oh, I have a good story about that grow. So we're growing these big like 400 gallon horse troughs.
Yeah,
they're big.
They were huge.
Because the idea was, all right, well, the roots send out like a signal route to find out how far they can go. So that's like one of the theories, and until they hit like a wall. So that like will signal the plant on how much room it has for its growth and its root zone. So I'm like, well, if that's the case, then we might as well put it in these 400 gallon horse troughs, because then we'll have monster trees. So we're growing like between 4 and 6 to a trough.
Bro, these fucking trees, I'm not bullshitting. These trees were so big. It looked like
they were growing into the lights.
They were literally growing into the lights.
So
but in a big ass barn. Wasn't it like a barn?
No, it was a big warehouse. It was custom.
Outbuilding.
It was custom built for a grow.
Yeah, it was just, they were huge.
Bro, we were running like,
they were big.
Dude, I want to say there was like 200 or 300 flower lights in there.
Bro, I pulled up.
How far could you smell weed?
You could see it, like you could see the building from the highway.
Yeah, from the interstate.
Yeah, but
the weed smell, you could smell for like 2 miles out. And the state prison was like 5 miles away.
It was, it's right in Girard Lodge.
I thought that these troughs would be great because you could put your own mixture of soil in there, add your amendments. You would end up with some massive trees. Well, I went out there one day and I'm like, why aren't you guys running CO2? What are you doing? Like, oh, we don't want to put more heat in the room, so on and so forth. I'm like, we're running CO2. This is ridiculous. So at the time we had CO2 burners, which are like these propane burners that put off CO2 versus injecting CO2 from tanks into the room. So I turned these burners on. I'm like, we're running CO2. There's probably, I don't know, probably a couple $1 million worth of weed in this room.
That fucking weed in that room was, I'm not bullshitting, touching the walls. Like, it was everywhere.
It was a jungle in there. But, so I turned on these these CO2 burners, and the room starts dying right away, the whole room. It's a big room, like, you know, it was like 2 of these whole rooms. All flowering lights. And the room's dying within like 48 hours. The room's like completely like dead. And these plants are like 6 weeks into flower, like 2 weeks from harvesting. And then, you know, it would have been like probably $1.5 to $2 million in bud when it was done. And I killed the whole room in 48 hours. And how I did it was, normally there's aeration within like the root zone. So whatever you're using as a pot or whatever has aeration. these troughs didn't have irrigation because they were designed to hold water for a fucking horse to drink, right? So, and CO2 is heavier than air. So I was pumping all the CO2 in from these burners, and all that CO2 was settling down to the floor because it's heavier than the atmospheric air. And it was also settling into those troughs, and it had nowhere to go. And so, not many people know this, but the root system of a plant takes in oxygen, and then the canopy takes in CO2. So you have to have a lot of oxygen to the root zone. So it suffocated those root zones, and the plant suffocated, and they all died. And it took me like 10 specialists to figure that out, but I was like flying in people from around the country to try and figure it out. Like, literally, I was like dying with the plants because like I couldn't afford to lose that crop like that, but we did.
I feel like
so yeah, that was one of my most expensive learning propositions in my cannabis career.
And the devil told the truth, but to the cops I told a lie when it's just you, yourself, and you.
Park there in front of it.
I'm Mike.
Mike, how you doing? I'm Jason.
Jason. All right. Yeah.
Where's your park?
Try to get you right next to this other range.
Okay.
Thank you, Mike. I mean,
it's all good.
Sorry.
He said his own name, didn't he?
Wow, bro.